Hi, it's Ryżu from CleanBuild RC, and I'd like to show you my way of soldering CleanBoard Kit. It consists of two exactly same PCBs. The first one is used to solder components to, and the second one is used as a case, using the plastic screws that are in the kit as well. Some people buys additional set of connectors and create two parallel boards from one kit. You can do it if you wish, but you'll need additionally some kind of 3D printed casing as well. Kit consists of 15 centimeters balancer connector, two 16 gauge cables, and of course the XT60 2-year charger, fuse and fuse holder, 6 and 4S balancer plugs, and of course the original AMAS XT60s, and those plastic screws to connect the boards together. Additionally, you'll need a soldering iron, some kind of flux, maybe really helpful as well, and of course some solder, about 2 meters of solder. The board takes a lot of it. Let's start. Now you can see those marks on the PCB which have to line up with the connectors grooves. Let's place all the connectors on the PCB now. Mind the polarity. I use the second PCB to easily flip everything over. First trick is to solder only one leg of each connector. It is really easy to desolder if you mess the polarity or something else is wrong. Check the polarity now, push the connectors against the PCB, if everything is okay, just solder all the other connectors. And it came out beautifully. Some of the connections weren't nice enough, were not nice enough, so I used some flux on it. And now just placing the soldering iron for about a second fixes it and makes it shiny. Then clean the unnecessary flux with isopropylic alcohol. Now we'll do the XT60s. Mind the polarity, you can see it at the PCB marks. And use the other PCB to flip it over once again. And once again, I'll do one leg only trick. I put the solder on the top of the connector, then put the soldering iron inside the connector to easily heat up whole connector and then around the connector. I found this way to be the easiest. Use a lot of solder here. I use around 2 meters of 1 millimeter thick solder for whole board. That makes a firm connection and nice and shiny solder. Check the polarity for the last time before you solder the other. Oh, clean it first, of course. The CleanBuild way. And now check the polarity. Because you soldered only one leg of each connector, now it's easy to straighten up the connectors if it's necessary. And we can do the other leg of each connector. To the top, inside the hole, and around it. You can put some solder between the connectors. It will help to dissipate the heat and throughout bigger amperages when charging. Done. Clean the soldering iron. Check if the connections are nice. Nice and shiny and straight. Perfect. Next step is the fuse. There's no polarity here, so you can use it both ways as you wish. Once again, I do one leg only trick. And straighten the fuse if it's necessary. Now all the other connections. Job done. I use this kind of plasticine, I guess this is how you call it in English, to secure the X260 connector and prepare the wires. Squeeze the wires. There is a plus sign on the connector. I like to use the white cable for the plus side and the black cable for the other side. Make a nice blob of solder on the cable, some solder to the connector, and while holding the soldering iron, just solder the cable to the connector. It's good to flip the connector over for the second leg and the second wire. That's why I struggled. But everything came out nicely. It's a good idea to use some heat shrink to secure it against shorts. It's not included in the kit, but I guess you'll have some if you already own a drone. Now the balancer port. You can see the marking on the PCB. And don't make my mistakes, I do it wrong here, the wrong way. The red cable should be inside and the plug should be the other way around. I found about that mistake in post-production of the film, of this movie. Please be patient, check twice, don't make my mistakes. Pre-tin the cables, pre-tin the pads, then soldering is a breeze. And now you can see that I rotated the wrong way. Now prepare the other side of the X260 cable. I don't twist the cables here, so it easily spreads on the PCB. Plus side of the connector to the plus on the PCB. Make a big blob of solder on the cable and some solder on the pads as well. I usually do it this way, that I just solder so it sticks, then I do the other cable. I found it to be easier for me. Maybe you'll find a better way. And now it's easy for me to redo it, make it nicer and sturdy. It's not nice now, so I use some flux. And flux helps. Use flux, it really makes all the soldering easy. And of course, then clean the flux. So don't forget to measure the board before using it. In here, you should hear all the beeps. I'm recording my voice after doing the movie because there was some noise in the background. So first pin of the connector with first leg of every balancer plug, second with the second, third with third, and so on. Now you shall not hear the beep in here. That would mean that you have a short. All the connections that I'm checking now should not beep beside the same leg of the balancer port. Please measure the board before using it. Can't stress enough how important this is. And of course, if you measured it and everything is okay, just use the set of plastic screws. Doing it might be a little bit irritating because there are 6 screws to hold it securely and I only have 5 fingers. But you'll manage, trust me, you'll finally get there. Maybe someone may help you with a third hand. That's a good idea too. Tighten the screws, but please don't over tighten it. These are plastic screws, so they may break easily. And voila, it's ready. It's really beautiful. It's made out of great components and with your own quality of soldering. So the best quality. Thanks for watching this movie, and I hope you'll enjoy the CleanBoard.